One thing that we acknowledge, and I think the Air Force and the Joint Force is acknowledging, that our adversaries don't respect lines in the sand. And in our U.S. military today, we have lots of lines. One separates the Indo-Pacific AOR from the continental United States. For example, Pacific Air Force's airmen wear a different patch than Air Mobility Command airmen. But we acknowledge that our adversary does not care about those lines. So we need to be able to fuse and work together regardless of what patches we wear on our chest. But we also need to keep that core readiness of looking out to the Pacific and what does that seasoning look like for all of our airmen. And that's something we've really been focused on here at Team McChord, and one of those things that we were able to do in the Hawaiian Islands alongside our joint partners as they maneuver and exercise and figure out how they're going to play into the next fight. Both what we did in Operation Kenny's Return and what we did in Hawaii over the past several weeks allowed us to fuse across those lines to really create combat power that is noticeable and ready for the next fight.
The lessons that we took out of Kenny's Return built into Rainier War naturally. In Kenny's Return, we didn't know if it was possible. We did the math, we did our homework, and we thought it was possible, but no one had tried it. And so walking from there to Rainier War, you have a different level of confidence. You know it can work because you've just done it. You understand some of the friction points that you have because you just lived through them. And so using that as a building block approach to make us faster, leaner, and more agile as we walk into Rainier War is how we approach the problem set. We start to add a bunch of different AFSCs and different specialties to enable us to become a mission generation force element and generate airlift combat power. Watching those different skill sets as we go through the preponderance of the exercise was wildly satisfying for me and pretty eye-opening on all of the different pieces that are necessary to make the airlift machine happen. Because in the 7th Expeditionary Airlift Squadron, your value to the organization is not based on your proximity to the cockpit. It is based on your ability to make the magic happen and to launch combat power. And all of us have to work together to do that. From Hawaii to Alaska to Guam and Palau, all of that was possible because of maintenance. We achieved a greater than 90% reliability rate with a shrunk down maintenance and supply package to enable operations in an agile fashion. And so to be able to do that and still maintain above a 90% reliability rate is unheard of. We cannot achieve anything without maintenance. The entirety of the time that we were building Rainier War, members of the 7th were on the road executing the global airlift mission, and they were reconstituting real time as we pushed out the door for Rainier War. And we expect that that's going to be realistic for any combat operation, is to be sustaining the global conflict while focusing in very specific areas.
We had a lot of people during the exercise executing in a way that wasn't just exactly what they would do if they did a traditional deployment or how they operate at home. And it's that kind of like flexibility and that way of innovating what needs to happen in the moment that makes the MGFE successful. None of us had ever gone to Kalaeloa Airfield and operated and exercised out of there. So to take an entire MGFE out of home station and then put it at Kalaeloa and then operate together as one MGFE unit under one command structure, doing all those deployment processes, the generation, the employment, and the sustainment to their actual full extent was the big goal, and that's what we accomplished out there. I think that was the biggest success, being able to do everything to the quality that we're used to back home, but in a completely different environment with really unique challenges and totally unsupported.